room got very quiet, so that must mean the pizza is really good. How about it for Johnny's Pizza? You know, as I mentioned at the start of this is a project of the Lake Houston Area Chamber of Commerce, and we meet 3 times a year, and a lot of planning goes into each one. I just want to take a moment to thank the advisory committee that meets with Dr. Charles Ned in his office a couple of times before each one to plan our speakers and plan out, get the program coordinated. So, Tom Brode, and thank you. Keith Rushing, Colleen Merritt, and anybody else I missed that's on the advisory committee. There's other folks, but some of them weren't able to be here today. But just thank you for your time. And well, yeah, Charlie's on the advisory committee. So then I was going to lead into the chamber staff. You know, this is a part of the Lake Houston Chamber, and we have a great staff, and it's led by Charlie Rongel, president of the Lake Houston Chamber. Jenna Armstrong made it back in the room. Jenna, right beside you. Sorry, Jenna. And Colleen Merritt, who actually heads up from the chamber as our representative for our humble Bizcom. So thanks for all that you do. So let's hear about what's going on in the great city of Humble. A lot of good things happening. You've probably seen a lot of construction and some barrels up here and there, and there's always something going on. And the man that makes all that happen, or has to go through his office, is the city manager, Mr. Darrell Bosky.
Everybody ought to have a barrel at least. I won't talk long because y'all can hear I can't talk very well anyway. I would say this though, as I've said before, I think we're an extremely blessed community. And I think everyone here understands what blessing by association means. You know, we have a wonderful mayor and council, and that's where I want to start with this to say, in memory of Councilman Alan Lee, 19 years of service, he's the kind of person on council that truly has meant blessing by association, whereby he understands every financial detail you could possibly have because of his professional banking background. You know, we read everything we did. We never had a number out of place on one single council meeting that he didn't catch or help us correct. I'd say that's a wonderful service that no one can duplicate. So in memory of Alan Lee, I say thanks, Alan. And I know the rest of the council, as you know, are also great people. And I've said this before around the community. I don't know who the new council person will be that will fill that position. Can't take Alan's place necessarily, but we have 4 councilmen and a mayor that all been married 50 years. I think it says a little bit about the integrity level of who we have, who I report to every day. Especially Donnie, he's an old detective. He gives me that 2-hour grilling every morning. So everything is in public. I guess I would say, I mentioned previously that thanks to your votes and support last time, our metro projects are just getting underway. It is unfortunate we have some of those barrels across Townsend West right now, closing the road completely going westbound. It'll be open in about another week, but we had some point repairs to make, and so that'll be 4-lane in a couple of weeks there past Target and Colt. So that's a really, really great project. And I think I mentioned, but just in case I didn't, a developer, Skymark Development, has come into the city. And I'm really enthusiastic about what Clinton Wong is doing for our community, because he bought the 190-acre tract across and behind the courthouse along the south side of Will Clayton that you've seen some trees come down. He's now purchased a 950-acre tract that was along west of Townsend, behind the mall, all the way to Spring Creek and the river. He's also in the process of getting the property across from the Civic Center, which is another 120-acre tract, which I would, I'm really impressed that he's buying all this land. So we're going to have one person, one company that's going to really go out and market for the city. And hopefully we'll have a few residential projects, but a lot of that will all be commercial. And that's going to be a huge project for us. Going forward, 2014, we just got approval on the Wilson Road issues that we've had. So you'll see that go out to bid probably within a month or so. So that means we're going to 3-lane Wilson Road from Will Clayton down to Atascocita Road. So you may want to find an alternate route through there for the next 8 months or 9 months, just to let you know. Because when you start enclosing ditches, putting in culverts, and extending those lanes, there really just isn't enough room there for much traffic to get by, especially when they're working. So I just say that not lightly, but I understand it's an inconvenience. But when it's finished, again, it'll just be a huge improvement for our whole mobility and transportation around the city of Humboldt. Especially it'll extend, basically straight to the Beltway. So we'll have that through traffic flow, which really connects all of our city together. I know I've had a zillion questions. I still don't know the answer for it, but the corner of Will Clayton and US 59, who wants to know what's going there? Just a couple people. I had at least 1,000 phone calls.
Another warehouse or, what do you call it, for all the cargo.
Okay, well, I don't know either until Monday. Next time I'll know. In front of what?
They clear all that land by Sam's. What's one there?
A Kroger.
Kroger.
Yes, the Kroger, as at the end of their lease with the Weingarten Realty Group, where they are presently, they'll close that store and move to the new location there across from Academy, next door to Sam's. That's what's being built there. And it really changes the landscape, doesn't it? When they cut those trees down, you go by like, wait a minute, I think I'm in the wrong place. Let's see, we've had a huge, in my opinion, steady tax growth, thanks to everyone here for a nice Christmas holiday season. We had a 3.89% increase over all of our taxes. That doesn't sound like a whole lot of money, but when you're talking $24 million, 3% is substantial. We could live very comfortably off that, couldn't we? Let's see, more to come. Next meeting with Charles Bender High School renovation, obviously working with Scott. And I tell you, it's going to be spectacular, and hopefully we can bring some pictures at the next Bizcom and show you that. Well, that's about our updates. Does anyone have any particular questions that I might answer? Yes, ma'am.
Why is that new Townsend only just 4 lanes, no shoulder? Where on the other side of 59, it's so much more developed for growth, and we're not going to have any growth. You can't even get a bicycle on the side like you can on the other side. It's just you know what I'm saying? You have the 2 lanes each side and a curb. You're going to have a lot of development there, and there's just not going to be the growth.
Well, sidewalks will come.
I'm sorry?
Sidewalks in an area there beside the road will come. Again, this is really, see the best way to put this. As part of our agreement with the giving that person a municipal utility district in the city, we wanted something. And what we wanted was him to do that road. Well, almost every developer will tell you, well, we can't do the road first. We don't have anything to go there. And we're like, we want the road. That was our deal. So what we did is we made a deal to us to build the road with the Metro funding, and then he will give back to us that money, and then we'll do sidewalks and additional things across there. Plus, there's going to be a trail now behind, at the back end of that property, which goes all the way from the Arboretum to Kingwood. So there will be some huge, beautiful park areas down there. Okay. So that's your answer. Robert?
Are you at liberty to say what Long is looking at for these other properties he's buying?
Well, the stuff around the courthouse must be commercial by ordinance and by land planning use of the airport system. For the rest of it, no, he doesn't have anything set in stone, so it would be guessing. We have a general land plan, but that's subject to change. All right, thank you very, very much. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Darrell. Our next speaker is with Randall Reed Planet Ford, and what a great partner to have, not only in our community, but with our school district. And I don't want to steal any of her thunder, so I'll let her tell you all about the great things that Planet 4 does for the, not only for the community, but for the school district. So, Christy Williams with Planet 4.
Just so you know, I don't do public speaking. This is usually Chuck's job. Some of our expansion that we're doing right now, the dealership is under construction. Anybody that's driven down 59 can see it's a mess. But we're doing a total renovation of the dealership. We'll be back in our building April 1st, and we're building a $1,600,000 state-of-the-art restaurant for customers. That will be finished July. Then the used car building will be totally redone by September. So in September 1, you should see a total remake of that entire strip. On top of that, we're negotiating with the landowners that Daryl's talking to the developers that are building right there at Will Clayton. We're in the process of purchasing 10 acres there adjacent to the dealership to build in a new franchise. So it won't be Ford, but something new is coming. As far as community stuff, we do a lot with the school district. Our favorite projects, the Education Foundation, we do a lot with them. The Teacher of the Year, we give the Teacher of the Year a new car every year. They get to choose between a 2014 Escape or Fusion. We do a lot with the Best Buddies program. In fact, we're taking 70 of the Best Buddies kids from K Park High School to Disney World and their sponsors. So that will be an adventure, and Scott's hopefully going on that trip. We need help. The Mosaic program here at Humble High School, we're in the process of working out the legalities of donating. We've donated an expedition to that program to transport the children to and from job interviews, special programs that they have after school. Right now they go in a big school bus and they want to feel like they're normal kids. So we've donated an expedition to them. So when they go to job interviews and to and from work from campus, they'll go on a new expedition. So I think that's it.
Thank you, Christy. I have the privilege of serving on several committees with Christy, and you can just feel and see the passion she has for our teachers and our students in the district. So thank you again. The last couple of Bizcoms, we have had some great announcements come from Memorial Hermann, some new things that they're offering their patients and for our community. And so to tell us about their latest new expansion is Mr. Heath Rushing. Heath?
Thank you for always giving us the opportunity to come and talk about what we have going on. I guess what's really come from the recent announcements that have been in large part about physician recruitment around very specific service lines, bringing new service offering to the community. The challenge with that has been all these new physicians that we've introduced and brought to you and introduced about the new services they are bringing to the community and offering to the community has created some substantial growth in our surgical suites at the hospital. As a result, just to give you some statistics, our spine program has grown 20% over last year and is tracking about 13.5% over budget this year. Our vascular program is 17.5% ahead of where it was last year and 12.5% ahead of budget. And then our general surgery and robotics program that we've talked to you extensively about is 9.5% ahead of last year and 8.5% ahead of budget this year. From percentage perspective, that's tremendous growth in just a very, very short period of time, basically all occurring within about an 18 to 24 month window. The impact that can potentially have to the community is then access to those services to be able to schedule your procedures when you want them to be scheduled. And so what we're actually undertaking now before we get to that point to be proactive is an OR expansion project that will bring in 2,600 new square footage of space into our operating room and allow us to build out 2 new things and then provide even shell space for an additional expansion that we expect will happen in the next 12 to 24 months. So the 2 new things that you can expect to see in the next 8 months is, one, a brand new endovascular hybrid suite for our vascular surgeons that will offer them the ability to provide state-of-the-art endovascular incisionless care in surgical procedures to your main vessels that kind of go throughout the peripheral of your body, your arms, your legs, your neck, your carotids, those kinds of things. There's a lot of advancements in that technology. These hybrid rooms allow them to see things they've never seen before, to be able to fix things without having to open up the body. It allows them, the hybrid part comes into, is they can do more and more complex things, because if something does occur or if something goes unplanned, they can then open the patient in that same room without having to transfer to the operating room. And so that will offer a tremendous service to the community that currently does not exist in the area. The second part of the project is building out a specialized robotics room in the operating room suite. What we've done over the last 2 years has brought it in to an existing OR room that was already functional and made it work in that space. This will allow us to be more flexible with the robotics room. It will allow us to build in some different things that our surgeons that are using the robot have requested. And we'll be able to bring those resources to bear that will also be a part of this project. The third phase will be an additional shell OR suite that will be available for future expansion, though again we anticipate will be occurring in the next 12 to 24 months given the track that we're running on with our main service line growth. So very exciting. Again, we try to stay ahead of the curve as it relates to you being able to access these services that are available to you through these physicians so that we can have the capacity in the OR to accommodate the growth that we're seeing. So I'm not a big fan of conceptual drawings and renderings, so I don't typically present those. So as soon as we have the real deal ready to rock and roll, then we'll have a big community event and we'll have pictures to put up here to show everyone what it looks like. So thank you again for your time and the opportunity to come and share that with you, and I look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Thank you, Heath. You know, talking about growth and economic development, about a year ago, I think it was, when you first spoke to us about Priority 1. And so to give us an update on the economic development that the Chamber is involved with is President of the Lake Houston Area Chamber, Mr. Charlie Dromgoole.
Let's see, we're going to get my 40 slideshow up here. So, let's sit back, get some popcorn, and we'll go for a while. No, it's going to be pretty short. I just wanted to, let's see, is it loading? Yeah. Push it up. Which button? The right one? Let's see.
There we go.
Johnny Manziel highlights.
That's right. I'll do some Johnny Manziel signings if anybody wants them. Since he's not going to be around. Just kind of refresh your memory why we're so interested in economic development. We've had a lot of we've had a lot of population growth in our area, but we've not had a lot of job growth. And that's what we're trying to do, is bring jobs, good paying jobs to this area. We've just not had any organized effort to market the Lake Houston area, and that's why the Chamber has taken that on to try to bring all the entities together in the region to market this region for economic development. And this is a very complex region to do that. We've got the city of Humble, we've got unincorporated Harris County, we've got part of Montgomery County, we've got 87 MUDs. It's just a very complex situation to deal with, and so we have to really be on top of things to make sure that we don't get a lot of junk coming into our area. And so that's we've just got to have a unified growth management program. But one of the main reasons, 81% of the Humble ISD tax base is residential. That's the highest in the Houston area. We do not have the capital investment in the Humble Independent School District to really do the things that, what those folks do with the money that they have is amazing, because they really get the biggest bang for their buck in that region. We just don't have a lot of private employers in our area, in our immediate area. There's a whole lot of commuting going on here. There's a lot of people drive out of here every day. Wouldn't it be nice if you could live, work, and play here? but we also need to hold on to those industries we have, and that's business retention and expansion. Okay, and just to kind of give you a brief update, in 2011 we began the research on the establishment of an economic development plan. Met with a lot of economic development experts, reviewed the TIP strategies report, and developed and improved the strategic plan. It has 6 objectives: create an economic development partnership, develop and update economic development information. We had no real data on our area. Nobody really ever put together information on what this area consists of. Market our area as a great place to do business. Establish a formal business retention expansion program, and go talk to our existing businesses and find out what they need to have to be able to expand their business. And then our real market in this area is small business, and so how can we help our small businesses grow? There might be another Dell computer sitting right in our backyard. And then recruit primary jobs to the area. Next one. In 2012, we began implementation with really, when I say limited resources, it was really no resources. But we formed a partnership, we developed a website, we got our basic demographics, we implemented a method of marketing commercial real estate in our area, and then completed our funding methodology and our information brochure. Next one. Next slide. Which is what you see here, and our website's on front page on the left and our brochure on the right. In 2013 was kind of really when we began operations of our partnership. We began our funding campaign. We secured commitments of $73,000 a year from private employers in the area. We hired Mike Pratt as an intern, and later, as he finished his internship, we put him on full time. He does primarily all of our demographic and data development, and has done a really phenomenal job putting together information on this area. We began submitting requests for information to the Governor's Office of Economic Development this year. You have to have the capabilities of doing that, and we submitted 26 RFIs to the Governor's Office and got in the finals on 2 of those, which and these are very extensive. There was one of them that was a 171 questionnaire that we had 3 days to fill out. So, I mean, we've had to really gather a lot of it, and as we've done more of these, we've gotten better and more experienced at it. We did a lot of extensive data development on the area, learning about the MUDs, the companies, advanced demographics, all types of analysis of what our strengths, weaknesses, and our opportunities are in this area. We developed community profiles on all 6 zip codes that we operate in, and an overview of economic activities. And you can go to our website, www.lakehoustonedp.org, and we keep that economic overview updated on a regular basis. So if you need something to tell folks in your home office or whoever what's going on in the area, there's a readily source available, updated monthly on that website. We started providing a lot of information assistance to businesses. I think Michael helped 22 small businesses gather the information they needed to start their businesses, and some of those we know have started, others we haven't heard from, and then we also did some additions to our website. We attended the International Council of Shopping Centers Deal-Making Show in Dallas, and the Society of Industrial and Office Realtors and annual meeting in Houston. We just, right at the end of the year, we purchased a geographic mapping technology called Sites on Texas 2.0 that's going to greatly enhance our capabilities and ability to respond to information requests on the area. And then we participated in a lot of our regional economic development activities, particularly with the Greater Houston Partnership. They raise about $20 million a year for economic development, and they work on a regional basis, and they've been a great resource to us. In 2014, we hope to have, to do some collateral promotional material, start our business retention expansion visits, do some developer orientations to bring developers out here and let them know here are things that we have available, and then do some marketing and branding. And while we have been gathering information on sites and buildings, we do not have it all at this point, and that's what one of our goals is this next year, to get more of that. Because when we get requests, particularly from the governor's office, we have anywhere from 2 to 4 days to turn it around. We don't have time to go out and look for property. We either have it, and if we send in, we can't send in, say, oh, we have a site that's 200 acres. No, they want to know what the utility capabilities are, all of that, this extensive data that is required to be able to participate in that. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that. This next year is trying to really get that definitely in order. Next slide, please. Our current priority one investors, you can see we have a number of people who have stepped up, and if any of you would like to participate in this program, if you'll see me, we'll be singing Just As I Am at the end of this deal, and you can come forward and rededicate your life and write us a check. So, anyway, these are our current investors, and we appreciate their support this year. Next slide. Some of the major things happening in this area that you're going to see coming about in 2014, Generation Park FMC Technologies has sold their first piece of land, and I know it's been a while, but this is a major project and it does take time, but I think you'll see that come about the first part of the year, and that's going to be a great addition to our area. For those of you who don't know where that is, it's basically at the intersection of West Lake Houston Parkway and Beltway 8, and so that's going to be a great addition. K2 Logistics is building a 250,000 square foot logistics center over on, I guess it would be called Business 1960. Alding, I think it's really called Alding Westfield Road. But anyway, they'll be opening in October of 2014. Kingwood Park Center, City Center, is the development between Kingwood Drive and North Park Drive that's going to be a multi-use center, office, retail, and commercial that will be going on in that area. Kingwood Medical Center just is finishing up a $71 million expansion. Crescent Resources, that's a new subdivision that's going in at the Grove, called the Grove. It's on West Lake Houston Parkway, 2,259 homes eventually. The Village at North Park, you've seen the Kroger Marketplace, and how that's expanding a lot. Grand Parkway is under construction and will be completed in 2015. 259, which is going to really extensively open up our area to a lot more activity. And then you heard Darrell talking about Air 59 Commerce Center and Townsend Landing and Intercontinental Commerce Park. They're all in the development stage, and so we expect to see activity in those areas over the next year. That's all I have. Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
You're gonna hate me, but I want to ask. Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, everybody's going to the Woodlands, and all the companies are going to the Woodlands. Can't we get, and I think a lot of us drive to the Woodlands to go to Trader Joe's and to Whole Foods and to Sprouts. Can't we get any of those stores here, and then we can get the businesses that are looking to relocate. They'll see these great stores that are known all around the country.
Okay, how many of you go over to the Woodlands to go shopping? How many of you? Raise your hand. Be honest now. Don't sit there. Well, if you're going to the Woodlands to go shopping, that's why we're not getting those, because you're in their marketplace. The more we spend our money locally, the more we're going to be able to attract to this area. It's a numbers game. and I'm not trying to avoid anything. I did talk to Trader Joe's when I went to the ICSC, and that we're not in the kind of demographics that they're looking at. The guy was he knew, I was amazed at how much he knew about our area that he was in. Yeah. They said to tell you hi, by the way. But that one, that I know where they are, but I do know that that is probably the most requested thing we hear, people wanting a specialty grocery store of that nature.
So if we're not in the demographics for them, how are we going to be in the demographics for all these wonderful big corporations?
Theirs was not more, theirs is more, they usually go into older established areas and take over. If you look at the Trader Joe's in most instances, that they go into established areas that are kind of on the uprise in major metropolitan areas like Memorial area, that type of thing. So, but we're continuing to call on these folks and let them know our information. At this ICSC show, I think we've been visited with about 70 potential retailers for this area. So we're out there marketing the area, but best thing you can do to help out is shop local, because when you start spending your money in the Woodlands, they know that we've got you. Why do we need to put something there? You're already a customer. Yeah. Okay. Scott, thank you.
Thank you, Charlie. And thank you for all that you and the staff are doing to help economic development in our area. Again, we mentioned the pizza was provided by Johnny's Pizza, and just to talk to us just for 1 minute is John Arthur with Johnny's Pizza. John?
Thank you. I normally don't use the microphone. I usually can speak loud enough, so I'm John Arthur, and I am a co-owner of Johnny's Pizza. My brother is my partner. I've been out here in the community since '81. I also own, and I can't believe I haven't done this before, but probably one of the best hair salons around. It's called Arturo's Hair Designs. It is right there on Lake Houston Parkway, and we've been there at that particular location for, 9 years. So I have been in business. My brother about a year ago said, hey, let's open up a Johnny's Pizza. Well, Johnny's Pizza was my first job I ever had in 1971. So it tells you how old I am. And I worked with a guy named Johnny Huntsman, and he had his one little store. And now there's 40 of them all in Louisiana. They're mainly in central to northern Louisiana. They're not known that much down south. But it's a different type of pizza. It's a fun place to go. We have TVs, football games, anything that y'all want. We love for the kids to come in there. We run buffets every day during the day, lunchtime, and we have one buffet in the evenings. We figured that we would bring this over here because there's so many people over here from Louisiana, and especially in the Kingwood area, and especially after Katrina and stuff like that. And it was really funny when we first opened up, and just the word out on Facebook, and we had people, alumni from ULM, which is in Monroe, and stuff like that. They were all meeting, and people hadn't seen each other in years and didn't even realize that everybody lived there. But our pizza, we want to say that it's different. We cut it different. There's one little kid that his mom didn't want to bring him there because we cut ours different. It's not pizza because we don't cut ours in pie shape. We cut ours in rectangles. We do cut it in pie shape for the buffets. That way we don't have any ends, and a lot of people don't like ends, But we love doing stuff for schools. I've sponsored teams and all the local high schools, and we do spirit nights. We've even had a gourmet pizza night one night for a ladies group out of Kingwood, and we changed our menu up. To be honest with you, I didn't let corporate know because they would have frowned on us, but we made some specialty pizzas, and that was a big success, so we will probably do that again, and hopefully there's a way that I can let all of y'all know, about that. So, but I'm sorry about the delay. We were just my timing was off, this was our first time doing that, but we just hopefully y'all would, come by and visit us. We're right there on Lake Houston Parkway and Upper Lake, and thank you very much.
Thank you, John, and thank you again for providing lunch today. Just a couple of announcements. First of all, I'd like to again thank Memorial Herman, our presenting sponsor, and again, Johnny's Pizza. Pleased to announce, if you have not heard, that Miss Lynette Calfee is winner of this year's Hayden McKay Dr. Hayden McKay Citizen of the Year Award. And she doesn't like me telling anyone this, but she was my 7th grade health grade teacher. But she looks like she could be my sister, so that's all that matters, right? So she's a fantastic person and well deserving of this award. That will be, and she will be honored along with some other directors at our annual awards luncheon, the Chamber's annual awards luncheon, and that's Tuesday, January 21st at the Nathaniel Center in Keywood. And that's off of North Park Drive. And the Chamber Gala is Thursday, January 17th, and what am I looking at on the 17th? Oh, I'm sorry. See, I didn't have my glasses on, so I'm trying to read this without them. But yes, reserved by January 17th. Thursday, January 23rd is the Chamber Gala. And the speaker and entertainer is Lindy Phillips. And I've never heard of a PDH, but post-dinner humorist, so that sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. And so mark your calendars for that. And then on the back of your program today, there's some other announcements. I won't read them all, but look at those. And if any of those fit your schedule or you'd like to participate, please come and have some fun at those events. And then our next 2 Bizcoms for the year, May 1st and October 2nd. So with that, we will end today's program. Thank you for coming, and I hope to see everyone again on May the 1st. Thank you.